I'm gonna start.
That's what I was waiting for. I'd like to call the Personnel Finance Committee meeting to order. It's Wednesday, July 12th, 2023, and it's 7:09 p.m. I am appearing by Zoom because my son Titan has a playoff baseball game right now. And my other meeting got canceled, and there's not much on the agenda. So if you can bear with me, this will be my first time chairing a meeting via Zoom. So myself present, Chris Dubach appears in person, and Donnie Kern.
How come I'm not down there? Let me slide over by Chris, so you can see me.
It just got you.
Huh?
It got you, but
It did?
yeah, sit wherever you want them. They don't adjust.
Here I am.
Yeah,
The owl's looking at me earlier, so.
looking right at you now.
So we review the minutes from the June 14th meeting.
I have not yet. Give me a minute to read them. We just received a written packet here. We still working on the 2022 audit, Andrea?
Yes, I have
Okay.
not received the actual audit report yet.
Okay.
When do you think you'll get that, Andrea?
It's in review at Clifton Larson Allen, so it's in their hands as far as when they'll get it to us.
I've had a chance to review them. Have you?
Mhm.
I
Mike,
went
have
through
you?
I went through them on Friday when they got emailed out.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Sorry. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Impact fee report. Actually, library report first.
And I am here. This is Christina from the library, and it's kind of business as usual at the library. We had Skeeter the clown come to visit the library yesterday, so that was kind of fun. It's a promotion for the Lions Club Circus and the Chamber Circus that will be in Somerset on the 20th of this month. And then tomorrow, trying a little bit something new. We usually have summer reading programs, and they're mainly for young families and that, but have a musician coming in with Celtic music. So we're seeing if we can attract some of the older residents of Somerset with that. So yeah, it's going good. We got lots of programs. People are visiting. We're also kind of in the middle of, we're not sure how it's going to go, but we have kind of some of our lights in our main lobby of the library are failing. And of course, those were installed in 2020. So we are working with the contractor and the electrician to come to some kind of resolution to get those replaced. So not real great, but hoping it works out yet. So. Any question about anything about on the library report or what's going on here this summer?
Nope. Are the lights gonna be an issue, do you think, or do you think the,
I think it's going to work out. It sounds like when I've talked to the electrician, they are working with the manufacturer of the lights. My concern is that they will replace the light fixtures, but the labor to install those light fixtures wouldn't be paid for. But I still don't know that for sure. I've been told that they will be covered. So we're just crossing our fingers and hoping that's what happens as of right now.
Donnie, is that something maybe our public works guys can install?
I don't know. I would have to ask Bob, and I don't know if they have, you know, what all it is entailed in replacing them. If it's just unplugging them and plugging them back in. So without more information, I'd have to defer until I find out more information on what's all required. If it's wiring or rewiring, changing ballasts, that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't recommend it just because it's warranty work. And I believe Christina said today that the ceilings are 17 feet high, that our department does not have the equipment to do that.
Right. And the electricians, Simon Electric is who we're working with out of New Richmond, and they hate the ceiling, the grid work that's in it because we have the drop down ceiling. They said this is like one of the most complicated jobs that they've ever had to do. So I would love that idea of Public Works like helping us out. I don't know if I'd want that burden on them too.
Understandable. Thanks,
Oh.
thanks for that clarification. Anything else, Christina?
Nope, always here to answer questions though.
Okay. Anything we can do to help promote the stuff you have coming up?
I think word of mouth, you guys are out in the community. Like if you subscribe to the library's newsletter, or I can put you on the e-newsletter too, so you can kind of like, okay, that's what's going on over at the library. We're always looking for community partners, whether people want to come in and, teach something to their fellow community members, or they want to use a meeting space, always open to those types of possibilities. So,
yeah, if you could at least sign me up, that would be fantastic.
okay, I will do that.
Perfect, thank you. And then kind of big on like Facebook and some of the other social media sites. I can help get the word out to people too.
Awesome, I appreciate that a lot.
All right, anything further, Christina?
Nope.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, you too.
Department head meeting report.
So you want to do the impact fee report first?
Oh,
Yeah,
yep, thank you.
Mhm. I think there was 2 more since our last meeting that have been
The June 23rd ones, the 2 capstones.
Yep.
so it leaves us for a total of 23 for the year so far.
Yes.
Has been none up to year to date, I mean, in July.
There has been, I believe, HRHH picked one up today. But this was done last week, so at that time there wasn't anymore.
Andrea, so when they pick one up, does that mean it's like filed, or it just means they're picking one up to fill it out? Or how does that, how does that work?
So this is paid when a new construction permit, building permit is paid for. So
Okay.
they apply for a
When-
building permit, and included with the cost of the building permit is the impact fee.
Okay,
So
so they
that's
picked,
when it gets
they're
recorded.
they picked it up and paid for it. Is that correct?
Yes, yep.
Okay, thank you. You guys have any questions or anything on that?
Just, when are we going, refresh my memory, are we scheduled to do something with regards to this, getting this needs assessment done anytime at this meeting, or is it going to be a next month's meeting?
So that was actually in the minutes last month. You guys decided to just send it right to the village board for July. However, with the holiday and some confusion on my end, that did not get in the paper. The deadline was moved. So it will not be at the July meeting, it'll be at the August meeting. In all of that, talking to Sean Lentz from Ellers, they have a staff member who will look at our current needs assessment and see if it's just a matter of putting new projects in our existing needs assessment versus going through the entire process of a whole new needs assessment. So I am planning on speaking with him in the next week to see if it would be a wiser decision for the village to just change what we have in our impact fee now versus the other process. So, but it'll be in August to answer your question.
Well, will that be coming to finance then, or will it be coming to the general board?
Well, I guess that's up to you. Previously, you had said just bring it to the board. But if you want it to come back to finance, we can certainly have it come back to finance.
I guess I wouldn't mind that, just so that I could understand it a little bit better before we go to the full village board, if that's okay with everybody.
Yep.
I'm perfectly fine with it coming to finance in August, if that's when it is. So we can prepare everybody for approval in August then at the village board meeting, is that right?
Correct.
Once we looked at it, and then will that take an effect right away? Or will that be,
No,
will that be, time set over a period of time? I mean, do we have to meet over it so many times or anything like that before it goes into effect?
so previously, with a needs assessment update, what happens is whoever is hired meets with staff, looks at any 5-year plans that the village has, or even longer term plans. And then they do a whole packet of information based on, current population and expected growth in the next 10 to 20 years, 30 years. And then, so it's quite a process to do the needs assessment. It's not something that will just occur in August as far as, okay, we're going to change our impact fee to this amount based on this information. It probably wouldn't go into effect until 2024, to be honest with you.
But when would we be seeing those numbers then? I mean, not in August then, you think?
What we would see in August is either one, a proposal to just do a review of our needs assessment currently, and possibly do an update just to that. As far as projects, keep the amount the same, but maybe change up the projects that we're collecting money for. Or you'll see a proposal or multiple proposals to completely do a new needs assessment.
I think we're kind of low on our impact fees for around the areas, right?
It all depends on multiple things. The population, the number of projects, and it's the rates are based on residential equivalent units. So there's a calculation to figure out the REUs and how that estimated costs of these anticipated projects due to growth factor into how you make up that impact fee amount. So it's not a matter of, well, Nourishment is at whatever amount they're at. I don't even know what their impact fee is. It's not a matter of getting in line with another municipality. It's a matter of figuring out that REU and the estimated cost of those projects.
Sure, and that's what I'm saying is that, like, right now we're putting 192 towards police, right? And $57 towards fire, but we were already talking with fire on a joint fire about $1 million truck that we're gonna be looking to buy in the next 5 to 10 years, that we're gonna split
Right.
with the town of $500,000. And that's something that we just spent what was it, dang near, I think it was, what was it, $250,000 on the tender that is going to schedule to deliver next year yet, that
Okay,
we're.
so there's a difference, so Donnie, there's a difference between just funding items such as those 2 fire trucks and funding projects that are needed to improve infrastructure for growth. Impact fees are only to be used for items that are required due to the village developments growing, not
Sure. Yeah.
not just regular capital projects.
Right, and then, well, that's what I'm saying is that, the fire chief wants a ladder truck because, if we're looking at doing multi-family or multi-level developments, he wants the ability to be able to reach the top levels, that that's part of that growth thing that we're talking about, right? So that's the kind of discussion that can be had, right?
Right.
Okay.
So that would be part of that needs assessment. Whoever would be contracted with to do that needs assessment would find out all of these things that are
We have
going to be necessary.
Sure. Do we have a cost associated with doing one of these needs assessments?
No, that's what you basically are getting the proposal for, is
Okay.
for how much they'll charge to do that for us.
Okay.
What would be the best way for us to I know said it's not like you want to compare, you know, the Richmond because they're different or whatever, but how do we know if we're somewhat in line with other municipalities close to us and our size? Is that something, Andrea, that like you can make a phone call and have them email their information over? Or what's the
Yeah,
best way
yeah,
to get that information? You
yeah.
can do that for us?
Yep.
That would be fantastic, just so we can try to kind of compare apples to apples as much as possible.
Okay.
I think what Andrea was saying though too is that community's goals might be different than our goals with regards to growth.
Mhm.
Right. It
Right.
sounds like there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but I would just like to kind of see where we're kind of at compared to other people. If we have to,
Mhm.
if
I
we
agree.
have things or if we're in good shape.
Okay.
Any other, you guys have any other questions on impact
Yeah,
fee
I'm
report?
just more concerned about, I mean, they had a proposal that was, I think it went to planning commission, but I'm not positive on it, so I don't want to really speak on it too much on right now, but we got bigger, developments and or possible multifamily, housing developments coming into town. What is that going to do as far as our, affecting our impact fees and such too, so.
Mhm. Sure.
That's all I got.
Chris, anything from you?
I am a little curious how these are allocated. Is there I'm guessing some specific formula?
Mhm. Yes. Do any of you have an actual copy of the impact fee needs assessment? Because if you don't, I can certainly share that with all of you.
I think that
Because it's explained in there how the calculations are made up and how it's
Please forward
distributed.
it to me.
Yeah, I don't believe I've ever seen that. So if you could send that out, that'd be fantastic.
Okay.
Great, yeah. Yeah, I was just curious about that.
Yeah, thank you.
It'll help in the discussion to better
Yep.
understand how that's all that's shaking
Sure.
out.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. Department head meeting report.
So we did meet today. Everyone was there and a lot of the discussion was around the current projects that are happening in the village. As far as the bridge, Churchill, the new project that will be starting on Main and Spring. Christina talked about her lighting issue that she discussed with you guys today. And then Joel touched on the school resource officer position and how that is potentially being reduced to a smaller amount of hours. Talked about the concerts. And one of the other things that pretty much everybody agreed on is the response time of the village attorney is a little slow. For instance, you guys had asked me last month to reach out to him for item 7C, conducting business on village property, and ask about the current invoice or current ordinance that the village has and I have yet to hear back from him. That was June 15th. So there's just some concern as far as if he maybe is not aware that he should be responding to staff, or if he only responds to board members, because it seems like there's times where he responds quickly when there's board member questions, but not so quickly when there's staff questions. So there was a general consensus that it is a problem.
How many times has this happened, or is it just this kind of the one issue of 7C, or is it a few others?
No, there's a few others. Joel has been trying to get a memorandum of understanding for the mutual aid at the concerts for about a month. And there were some developers agreements or purchase agreement items that have had not been taken care of yet. So yeah, there's just, it's maybe
Could the issue you have, if you could resend it and then CC me in the email with it, and ask for an
Mhm.
update. And the same
Yep.
with if you can let you or I can let Joel know to do the same thing for that
Yep.
the letter of understanding for the mutual aid.
okay.
Well, and the purchase agreement items that are outstanding too. I mean, if there's matters,
Mhm.
feel free to, I think that's a great idea, at least to get Mike copied on, so that if things aren't getting done, Mike can follow up with them and make sure that they're getting done with them. I mean, Mike appoints the village attorney. He should be following that lead too, making sure that he's addressing the concerns of staff.
Yeah, we want the best guy for the job, so.
Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it.
Okay, perfect.
You guys
2000,
have department head meetings monthly or quarterly?
Every 1 to 2 months.
Did you guys schedule another one in September?
I actually had to leave the meeting early because I had another meeting with J.A. Counter. So I don't know if they scheduled one. I will find out.
uh, 2023 budget to date and fund balances. Everything, when I went through it, everything looked pretty good. Andrew, anything on your end that's kind of glaring that we're way over or way under on? I didn't really see
No.
much of.
It was discussed at Public Works about there was an annual or a per person usage fee for the parks, for the ball fields. Is that
Yep.
Is that in the budget here as far as the revenue aspect of it?
Yep, it's on page 2,
Okay,
athletic field, the use fees, it's about halfway down. There is $900 budgeted. We have received $0 today.
so normally, and do we have, do you know what we received in 2022?
Oh, that's not on here. I can find out. I can't find out right on the spot. But I can certainly
Why haven't we received
let you know
anything
tomorrow.
so far, Andrea?
It's on the ball clubs, or the athletic groups to send in the check. We have no way of knowing how many members they have in each of their clubs. So it's kind of an on your honor thing, and most of the time we get it after all the events for the season have finished.
Right, that's what I was seeing. If you, not right, you know, we just had a little discussion about it at Public Works, and if we can, you know, if you could, you know, get to me the number for what the actual amount was received for 2022, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with the fund balances, you guys?
Is there anything reimbursed from the, I know you got budgeted, the 2023 police officer wage reimbursement. Does that have to do with the extras that we get from the concerts, or is that from
No,
mutual aid, or?
that is the schools, that's the schools portion of the school resource officer position. So they, their agreement states they pay half wages and benefits for that officer. So that's that amount.
So where would the additional reimbursement for officers and stuff for the concerts be at in this budget?
It's not in this budget. The concert has its own separate fund, so that the money doesn't get muddied up with the general fund. For accounting purposes, it's separate.
And that's not, we don't have that information, or is never provided to us, or?
It hasn't been provided in the past. If that's something you would like to see, I can certainly
Is it-
include that.
Is there an offset with police wages for that? I mean, because we're seeing the wages come out of the general fund, or is that all is that
Nope.
money in and money out?
The all concert expenses and revenues are run through, it's the 220 fund. This is the 100 fund, which is the general fund. So there's no expenses in the general fund for concerts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
get-
to see that.
I would like to see that too, yeah, just to have a better understanding of everything going on.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have heard, but the school now only they want to go from paying half to 8 hours a week. Is that correct, Andrea? Is that what we were looking at?
And actually, thank you for reminding me. That was one of the things we talked about at the department head meeting. And our thought was that maybe you, Mike, as the village president, and Shannon, the district
Superintendent.
administrator, should meet to negotiate something else, or discuss why they're changing what they had been doing for however many years now.
I wrote the grant in 2001, so it's been 22 years.
Yeah, so I think it's to that point where Shannon Donnelly from the school has been talking with Joel, and they sent over the contract with the 8 hours that you had looked at, and it was discussed at public safety with Chris. But Shannon had the school board meeting that night, so she couldn't attend public safety. So our suggestion would be for you and Shannon to meet and discuss the contract or the agreement.
My truck just got hit by a baseball. Just a quick question. Do you know if it's kind of Shannon that's pushing this or the school board? Just a quick question. I can talk to Shannon and I get along really well, but
I believe the communication has been coming from Shannon to Joel, so I would think that the school board is directing Shannon, but I don't know that for sure.
okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry, we can move on.
One quick question on the budget here, quick. Under revenues too, there was also some talk about for parks, there was like the fees associated with the developers that we're able to gain revenues on that, or that they receive revenues from developers for parks. Is that where does that fall at in here?
So that would be, actually, it's not on the budget because it's considered like an escrow kind of thing. So if a development goes in and they do not include a park with, some kind of equipment, then they pay a fee per lot, and that amount goes into an escrow for the village to then develop a park in that development. So it's not in the budget. It's considered more of a asset.
Right, but that money it should fall at least under, don't we have like a balance sheet showing all of our accounts and what we have in the whole, remember that coffee can analogy? Right?
Yeah. So this
And-
is just the budget. This is not the balance sheet.
Well, I understand it, but under reconciliation, there's a balance sheet there, right?
That's just the cash balance of each fund at the end of the month.
And, well, okay, so with nothing on that reconciliation, I'm assuming there's no escrow for any developed monies that went into that so-called account, right?
No, the escrow is part of the 100 fund. At this time, I do not believe there is any money in that. There has not been a new development for quite some time.
I didn't know if there was anything with Wine Zapper or River Hills.
I believe Winesap has a park planned in their development.
But nothing came about, right?
Right. So if they have it planned, then they don't pay the fee. If they don't put it in, then they have to pay the fee per lot.
Okay, so there's one in the plan for Winesap and there's one in the plan for River Hills?
There is a park at River Hills, yep.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else on that or ready to move on to unfinished business?
I'm fine.
But
update, community input on village website. I think we've kind of just want to keep going with the website we have, right, Andrea? It's starting to,
Yep. We actually have a training scheduled on August 2nd and August 8th, just as a refresher of the functionality of the website, and then also to discuss some of those items that have been mentioned before, as far as the placement of the picture and possibly making the menu different or those side buttons different. So hopefully for the August meeting, I can give you an update as far as where all that stands.
So will we kind of like get a little bit of a tutorial at that meeting then? On how everything lays out so people can see it if they were to attend the personnel or finance committee meeting?
You want me to give it to?
I mean, you're basically telling us, you can show us how it kind of lays out, right?
Yeah, this is more like the people that are putting items on the website. That's the training that is going to happen on the 2nd and the 8th. And what kind of options we have as far as moving things around. I guess if we're able to move things around by the time the August meeting, I will not be at the August meeting. I'm going to be out of town. Unless you want to move the August meeting.
We can talk about that.
It's not on the agenda. Yeah. So, I mean, with it being the 8th for the second set of it's a 2-part training. So, I don't know that we'll have things rearranged on the 9th, if that is the meeting date still. But I can see.
also, Andrea, do you know, so I signed up for those like alerts to get the minutes and agendas and everything emailed to me. So far, I have not received a single thing that I know about from the
Yep.
village.
And I haven't either. And in our discussion, we found out that there's a little box that we have to check that says send email alert. If we put something on the website, there's a box you have to check. We were not aware of that. So now anything new that goes on there, we'll check the box and you should start receiving emails.
Hence my request for like a tutorial type deal so that, once you get all the bugs worked out on this and you can kind of walk us through some of this stuff. So I'm kind of a dummy when it comes to that stuff. I'm still paper and hammer and chisel on stone pad if I have to, but it'd be nice to bring me into the 21st century if you can.
Sure.
September,
Pardon?
try that for September.
If that works, I mean, September would be fine. I mean, if that give you enough time to get it rolled out and, or get all the bugs kind of worked out, maybe.
Yep.
I don't know, what do you feel comfortable with that? I mean, I'm not trying to push it. I'm just
I
trying to
would say
understand.
September more than August.
Okay, so maybe
Be more
September.
comfortable with September.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Perfect. Ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Discussion possible recommendation quote for GPS and model policy on village owned vehicles.
So I'm gonna own this one and say that I did not get a chance to talk with Bob yet on that. I was around for 4th of July, but I didn't, there was, some stuff going on and, I got ill. And so I didn't get a chance to get with him, but I'll have something put together, for next month on that.
Right. Table that till next month. Discussion possible recommendation conducting business on village property.
So as I stated earlier, I'm waiting on a response from the village attorney on if our ordinance that is in place currently covers the village from any liabilities.
You were gonna forward that email to Mike or,
Yep.
you know, to see if we can't get
Yep,
that.
I'll copy him. Yep.
Are we okay to table that till next month then?
Sounds good to me.
Or do you want to discuss it at the village board if we can get?
The village board is what, next week already? So let's
Yeah.
give him some time on it and let's just, if it comes in before the village board meeting, we can put it on the agenda. Otherwise, let's just table it till next month.
All right.
Okay.
You can monitor that then, Mike, and just
Yep,
let us know. I
yep.
mean, if you got some kind of resolution or discussion worthy of the board, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things I want to talk to him about, so it'll work out good. New business, discussion, possible recommendation, training for board trustees. And I think this came from you, right, Donnie?
It did, yeah. I was just, I know that you guys, there's some training that's coming up. Actually tomorrow, I think there's
Budgeting.
budgeting for TID and stuff like that.
And Amory?
Yeah, it's just, I think the question really kind of come down to, do we mandate anything to our trustees? Or that they at least have to attend one training session or something, you know, on an annual basis, or what, you know, I mean, because you really want to have people understand what they're dealing with here. And like, you know, Brandon's kind of in favor of this. He wants to understand the whole TID process a little more. But I don't know if we have budgets for that.
Yeah,
There's
there's the village board expense line item. So to go back to your first question, as far as if there's a requirement for board members to attend an annual training, no. In the past, we have, when a board member is elected, we have given them the local government 101 DVD that is done by the league. This year, I believe Caleb, Chris, and Mike all went to or attended a webinar. And if I remember correctly, all of you thought it was very helpful. Correct?
Yeah, I would agree.
And I do have the flash drive from it. And I just, I guess I failed to do it so far, but I can upload that to like one of my Dropbox accounts and share that with everyone.
Actually, I already did send that out via email to the people who didn't attend it. The workbook, flash drive, yeah.
So would that be Andrea, is that the dues, fees and training that falls in under like deputy court wages? Or is that something that, because you got village board salaries and judge salaries and then dues, fees and training? Which there's a budget of $2,600 a year.
That is the court required judicial education costs. So up above judge's salary on page 4, there's village board other expenses, and that's where those training costs have been coming out of. As you can see, that is getting that line item is well over the amount that it should be at halfway through the year.
Yeah, what's all them expenses from? Right now in June, we had 29.75, but As of,
Mhm.
as of June 30th, there's $5,288 of a $6,300 budget that's been,
Yep.
utilized.
Yeah, well, I can't access my software at the moment, Donnie, so I can't tell you exactly what's in there. I can get back to you tomorrow.
Okay. That's, I guess that's what I was looking at for, if we were to, establish training for,
Yeah.
for those individuals, if that was something that is,
Right.
I think it's important to have training, especially to,
Yep.
and, if we're a little light on that 60, if that's where the training comes out of, and we're already at that, we're at 82% of budget, and we're not just over halfway through the year. That's where I'd be, a little concerned.
Right.
That we are underfunding that budget item.
Yep. A lot of information is available on the league website through webinars, and those would be either at a minimal cost or sometimes free. So that's another avenue that we can look into. So,
Okay,
Everybody good with that?
I am.
yeah, I'm fine with it.
Discussion, possible recommendation, village fee schedule. And I think this kind of comes back, if, not like a huge rush, Andrea, but if you can kind of get us, so we can kind of look at apples to apples or apples to oranges from villages our size and surrounding communities. And then we can, because I was hoping it was going to be in our packet of what our fee schedule is now.
so I guess I could have included the ordinance for the building fee schedule, which is the only fee schedule in our ordinances. I wasn't 100% sure, looking at it, I wasn't sure which set of fees we were going to review. If we're going to review like the cost for plan commission application, the cost for concession stand rental, park fees, those kind of costs, or if you were specifically wanting the section 15-1- whatever in the ordinance book, which is related to building permits.
Well, here's my question, do we have like a spreadsheet that shows all of our different fees and what those costs are for the entire village?
Yes.
And when I say that, meaning for everything from concession stands to health permits to liquor licenses, do we have some kind of a schedule or
Yes.
saying this is what our fee schedule is, this is how much our fees are, this is the last time they were changed?
Yep.
That, I'd like to look at that. I'd like
Okay.
to review that along with the building permit, the building fees, associated for that, I think a lot of that needs, I don't know when they've all been looked at, but I'd like to see what they compare to other municipalities in the area. And
So I do know the building fees come from the building inspector.
they get approved by the board though, right?
Yes. Yep.
And so if you have the fee schedule from the building inspector as to when they were approved, last, I mean, maybe they were done last year. I don't know, I mean.
I think it
So-
was 2019, if I'm remembering correctly, but I will double check.
Okay. So I think that would be the starting point, for the conversation, really, to review the village schedule. And if, things are in line, then there wouldn't be no need for further conversation. But if they're not, maybe we need to look at adjusting it.
Mhm. I do know we need to add, to that section 15,
Dash
the
one.
landscape escrow. Yes,
right?
from last month's public works, so,
So, yeah, if we get the schedule, then we can start from there.
mhm. Okay. All right. So
Perfect.
that one's on me. Sorry about that.
No worries. You've been doing the job of a couple of people, so we
Right.
appreciate
Yeah.
everything you've been doing.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. James.
Discussion, possible recommendation, request for proposal for the, when we go to sell any village land. And I had this put on here, I think it was the last village board meeting when we had a closed session talking about what's the best way to understand what village land is for sale and how it's gonna work. And between what Gunther said and Attorney Paul Mahler, basically from what I remember from the conversation, he says they, at other like cities like Richmond and other places, they'll put out requests for proposals. And then people, make an offer on it, and then it to me, it seemed like a better way of the board understanding what we have, what are some possible things we could do, or how to like offload or sell our some of the property that we want to sell. And that way it's almost pretty much rubber stamped by the village board before it gets to a deal where all of a sudden it's like, I'll use the locale makers market for an example. And, say the village board didn't like their proposal, and by this time they've already spent $10,000-15,000 to get state approved plans and a bunch of money, and the village board doesn't know anything about it. And, I think it's unfair to have people spend all that money if we're just going to say no on something. So I think it's a good thing for the village, and I think it's a good thing for potential buyers.
Okay, so in your packet, which Mike, I didn't know you weren't going to be in person, I would have forwarded the email I received today, but in the packet is a request for proposal that Bob drafted today, laying out all of that information that you just discussed. And then he also included, which I believe you were included on the email, regarding the Somerset Commerce Center and Centennial Farm Acres that are currently on our village website and on LinkedIn market.
LinkedIn campaigns, yeah.
Yeah. So he provided you with a request for proposal, or you named the committee, a request for proposal, and he just wants to know where you want him to put it.
Okay, and it says he has not put out any request for proposals yet on any property, but if that's the direction the board would like to go, he would be happy to do that.
Yeah, which he has provided. I can, after we're done, I can forward the email to you.
I think I'm part of it. Cause it
From
does it.
today.
I have one from yesterday, from July 10.
This was today.
Okay, great. So I guess I would like to have that go to the full village board, and if this committee wants to make a motion to have it
Andrea,
go-
what was the email that you're talking about was sent out today? From,
It is the white, it was sent to me for the meeting today. It's
is
the
that
white,
one? That's the one that's in our packet,
it looks
right?
like this. Yep, it says Village of Somerset, Wisconsin, request for proposal redevelopment of commercial land issued July 12th, 2023.
Sure, and they're showing that there's a proposal schedule of July 19th for a request released on village website. August 25th deadline for submissions, August 28th review of proposals, September 13th finance personnel. But then we don't have any actual, with the exception of the two that you were referencing of the Commerce Center and the Centennial Farms. Are those the 2 acres that we're actually proposing to put out for a request for proposals on?
No, he has on continuing pages, he has the lots that are available for sale in this if you look at the white, not that one. I can see you. Yes. Yep. That one on the second page after the cover page, there is a picture of the downtown lot. And it says it's a 0.66 acre, 26,000 square foot lot, zone C1. Do you see that?
Yep. So that's the only lot that we're talking about putting out for bids.
Well, because the one that's on the corner of Spring and Main is going to be under construction.
Oh, no, I'm just asking for clarification on that, in this 3-page deal here, we're just talking about one piece of property that we're asking a
That
request for
one.
proposal on, and we got
Yep.
several different, timeframes on just this one property. What about the other stuff up in the TIDS?
That's these other 2 things that are already on LinkedIn.
Okay,
If you want them to do the same for those, although part of that one is where Growing Wings is going.
right? That's Centennial Farms?
So,
And
the
And grow-
contractor, I believe.
Growing Wings is what? 4 to 6 acres of like 40 acres though? Is that
Mhm.
sound about right?
Yep. Yeah, something like that. I can't, it's the CSM is on the village board agenda from planning commission for
I guess
that.
real quick, the village owns multiple pieces of property, right?
The village owns the 2 lots on Main Street and the TID 5 area where Growing Wings is going.
And the new TID 6, right?
No, TID 6 has been purchased.
Just, yeah.
Okay. So TID 6, no. TID 5 is we own, and then we own the 2 lots here downtown.
Yep.
Mike, what was that lot that email come in for, individual wanting to purchase some land, from the village to put a fourplex on?
There's
that-
a 1 acre lot on the backside of St. Croix Power and Machine, or yeah, St. Croix Power and the boat. place.
Marine and Power.
Marine and Power, yeah. So he wanted to put fourplexes or something on that hillside.
But
And I
does the
believe
village
that's a
own that?
non-conforming lot. What?
So the village owns that.
The
Yeah,
village does
it's a
own it.
non-conforming lot. It's long and narrow.
Is there anything you can do to make it conforming, or is it just gonna be there
I
like
don't know.
that? forever?
You'd have to talk to Bob about that. I
Okay.
don't
Well, then,
know.
yeah, then I think maybe we do need to have a conversation with Bob on these lots and.
Does anybody want to make a motion to request for proposal for sale of village land to go to the full village board?
Well, I like the idea of this, being put out for everybody and, kind of mimics and, I should say mirrors, River, New Richmond with that regards. I'd like that. I'd like to get more information about the lots that we have available so we can put them out, because right now the timeframes that they put on here, it's, you know, the 19th, the 25th, 28th reviews. So basically, village reviews proposals, makes recommendations by the 19th. So that'd be 2 months after.
I don't think those are hard deadlines. I think they can be adjusted if
Yeah, and I'm
want
not
to have
smart.
some time.
I was just saying, I'm not smart enough to have that conversation about what's a realistic timeframe to put out for requests for proposals. If that's what Bob is recommending, if that's too tight, or if that's, you know, without looking at other areas in there. So I'll make a motion. We have the discussion with the full village board about putting out requests for proposals. I'd like to get some more information for the village board prior to that, like what other areas are doing for timeframes, and are they putting them out in certain areas, saying this lot and this lot we're putting out for requests for proposals on, and then this lot and this lot we're putting out for requests for proposals on. Or, you know, I don't know if we do it all whole hog or we do it in piecemeal, and it really isn't, you know, one person's discussion is a good thing for the whole board to talk about. So I'll make a motion. We have a discussion about requests for proposals of village land put forth to the, and recommend something to the board, but we need to get some more information first.
Motion on the table, is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye, opposed? All right. Future agenda items.
I think just getting the fee
Next
schedule
month out.
reviewed. We got a couple of things that were tabled, right? So getting the fee schedule
Yeah.
reviewed and the two tabled items for conducting village property and GPS. And then obviously, what about next month's meeting? If you're conflicting with dates on that, I think it's fair for us to discuss that under future agenda items, right? As
Mhm.
whether or not we're gonna have a meeting next month.
Well, you guys can have a meeting without me. That's not a problem.
Well, you got to be here to explain some village fee schedules and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of difficult for us to do
I
that.
thought I could get out of it, Donnie.
Well, nice try. You know, you do some good work for us. We want to keep that rolling, okay?
Oh,
Henry, what I would say on that is, get us what you can and put it out in the packet. And then if we have other questions, we'll just table it till the next month. But if we can just at least get the discussion going and
Yeah.
get some information would be fantastic.
okay.
question-
And the other thing that will be on the August agenda is the budget schedule for 2024 budget. To set up meetings to get the budget prepared. So that will be on August.
Are we opposed to moving the personnel finance up a week to the first week of Wednesday? The second?
We are not opposed to that. There is a joint review board meeting at 6 o'clock that day, but it shouldn't be more than an hour. So
What
We
date are you
have-
talking about?
August 2nd.
We have all the budget stuff ready by then?
That it's just a timeline for when meetings will be scheduled to prepare the budget. So it's not having the budget ready, it's just the timeline.
Maybe I missed, what I'm saying is, will you be able to have all the reconciliations for July's numbers ready to submit to the personnel by the 2nd of August?
I will try my best.
Mike, what do you think?
Just,
You said first Wednesdays were always kind of bad for you because you had something going on with your kids, right? But
my daughter turns 13 that day and my son's at football camp.
well, that ain't gonna work. Tuesday, the 8th?
Tuesday the 8th, I have a golf tournament fundraiser that I help run.
Does that go till 7 o'clock at night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But
Unless
Well,
public
this-
safety wants to switch Monday to Wednesday that month.
The 7th? Is that what you're saying? So we're switching the 7th to the 9th?
Yep.
does that work for you, Chris?
I have public safety scheduled on the 14th.
Oh yeah, that would be the first Monday, wouldn't it? August 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that work for you, Mike? The first Monday,
The first,
the 7th? The
The
first Monday.
7th.
the 7th works, yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that day.
I could make that work too.
Okay.
I do have a meeting.
At what
later.
time?
That's fine. Should we do a 5:30? Just keep it consistent.
Well, 7 to 7,
Yep.
but I'm gonna do it 5:30, that's fine. Yep, that's fine by me.
5:30?
Works for me.
So do you need a motion to that effect, or?
No,
I don't think so, because it's not on the agenda that way, but I think we can just
No.
switch it.
just the consensus of the committee was to move it.
That's fine. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
So June